Well, good morning. Do we have any visitors this morning? From where? From Knoxville, Tennessee. Well, welcome. Erie? Anybody else? Clearfield. Unwillingly, she put her hand up. Her daughter made her do it. Well, welcome to all of you this morning. In the readings today, the readings are somewhat theological, and so we have to kind of search for what's the practical application of what these readings mean this morning. But it comes down to two four-letter words. One is hope, and the other one is fear. We live with both of those kind of in our hearts, and they're kind of polar opposites, if you will. If we allow fear to overcome us, then we have no room within our hearts for hope. And if we live totally in hope, we lose a healthy sense of fear. So it's a thing to balance these two within our hearts and to fear the appropriate things and to hope for the appropriate things. So the question becomes for us this morning, what's appropriate? And the appropriate part is simply this, that we need not fear that which is out of our control. Because that which is out of our control is in God's control. But yet that's where we fear most. When we're faced with the loss of our job, when we're faced with sickness, when we're faced with death, whether our own or someone else's, we begin to fear. And that fear overtakes us. And we lose sight of God's promises. Each of us need to take a moment today and ask ourselves what we fear. Some people fear old age. Some people fear adolescence, their own, and if they're parents, someone else's. We fear things sometimes that need not fill us with despair, but rather with hope. So the challenge of these readings today is to truly look at our hearts. And we can tell good fear from bad because good fear produces within us caution. Bad fear produces within us paralysis. We get depressed, we get lethargic, we become negative, we are unable to see good in anything, we are unable to experience joy, we are unable to experience hope in other people's lives. Fear paralyzes and keeps us from doing what we know we should do. That's the kind of fear that Jesus was talking about in the gospel today, when he told his disciples, don't be afraid. Take the message and go out and preach it. Don't pay attention to what they have to say. And the same is true in our own lives. If fear is paralyzing us, then it is bad fear. If fear is giving us caution and cause to ponder, then it is good fear. Hope, on the other hand, is the ability to see the good even in that which is painful, even within that which is difficult or challenging, even within that which we do not quite understand. But hope, too, has to be tempered, or we become what we know as a Pollyanna. Hope is simply the understanding that God is in my life. Hope is simply the understanding that even though I can't see or understand totally what's going on within me or with around me, that God is still my companion. As we pray today, let's ponder that. And let us refer to the 23rd Psalm. Though I walk in the dark valley, I fear no evil. Put yourself in darkness sometime. Just turn the lights off and sit in absolute darkness. It happens a lot around here. Did you lose your lights last night again? I did too. So if you take that moment just to sit in absolute darkness and ponder, and you begin to realize that God's presence is there. I can't see Him. I can't see anything. But I know God is with me. Well, the same is true of our lives. Whatever it is that we're tied up in fear with right now, whether it's health or job or family or forgiveness or lack of it, whatever's binding us up right now, sit in your darkness and begin to feel the presence of God. Though I walk through the dark valley, I fear no evil. I can't see you, but I know you're with me, with your rod and your staff that give me courage. What fear does is it focuses on me. It focuses on what I cannot do. It focuses on what I'm unable to change. But hope gives us assurance that I don't have to change anything, that God is with me. And so look at whatever your challenge might be and see in it the opportunity to do good. See in it the opportunity to remain faithful. See in it the opportunity to find God's purpose and thus to retrieve yourself from the abyss of fear and to live in hope. We want things to be moved away. We want things to change. But as the wise person once said, if we have faith enough to move mountains, what we discover is that the mountains are right where they're supposed to be. Whatever you fear, add to that hope. For the Lord walks with us always. Be at peace.